Well, hello and thanks for joining us today. It's Kim at Carolina Sewing Back. I wanted to share some cute little projects. We have an upcoming seminar with Pickle Pie and they're doing a berry sweet event at our store. We're real excited about that. We thought though, as the ladies were stitching, that they might have some free time in between to do some extra berry special treats. So if you stop by our store, we'll have these patterns ready for you to give out, and you can also find them on our website. But there are 3 little patterns that I wanted to share with you today. This is a great strawberry pincushion. We think that it's berry sweet, and you can find this pattern and all the instructions and directions at Homespun Hearts Pincushion. All you have to do is Google Homespun Hearts Pincushion and it'll give you full directions for the berry sweet pincushion. Another sweet little pincushion we wanted to bring to you was the small berry. This one is so sweet, has a great little yo-yo up top, and we have the pattern and the pattern for the yo-yo right on your pattern printout from Carolina Sewing Back. You just need a little bit of scrap of green and a little scrap for your berry and a little ribbon too if you would like to complete this one. And then we have a third project, which is our basket that we want to bring to you today. This makes an excellent little candle cozy. I've got another one I'm going to show you at the end of this video as to how you can make it a sweet little basket for candies, use it for any type of holiday. Put a handle on it, it makes a great little Easter basket. And of course you can do it in larger sizes and you can get bigger baskets. We think that all these are very sweet treats and we want to share them with you today. So stay tuned as we get ready to sew. So this sweet little fabric basket, I make it from just 10-inch squares. You know that I love layer cakes. This project lends itself very nicely. You'll only need 2 10-inch squares and 1 fusible fleece of 10-inch. And what you're going to do is, to start out, you'll just take that fusible fleece and you will fuse it to the back side of one of your fabrics. Once you've done that, please go ahead and place right sides together and pin and let stitch all the way around. One of my sewing buddies shared this technique with me, and I'm going to share it with you. It works really well. I like when we're going to sew this square, we're going to sew all the way around using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. But when we begin and end, we're going to sew up off of the fabric. So watch, let me show you how that's done, and it turns a lot easier. I'm going to leave a nice generous opening for my fabric. So a good 2 or 3 inches is just fine. I'm stitching into the fabric, stopping with my needle down, and I'm going to pivot and turn. And I'm running about a 1/4 inch stitch allowance all the way around. Now once you're coming up on that last side, pivot and turn, and we're just going to sew back out, and I'm going to back tack that once over that stitch and come back and go ahead and clip your stitches. When you get ready to turn this, we want to first clip our corners, so please clip all 4 corners for me, and when you're done you've got something that looks like this. Corners all clipped out and we're actually ready to go ahead and turn. When we do that, I think if you reach all the way in, pull the bottom out first, and then turn your corners out nicely. So, this is a great time to get your point turner out and make those corners come out nice and tight. You don't have to worry about any hand sewing with this project because we're going to top stitch this opening closed. And our box, our little 10-inch squares, turned out very nice. And watch this. When you pull on these, look how they naturally fold close, and so you can just press them shut. I'm fixing to do that at the iron for you right here. So let's just give that a quick little press with your iron so that we can top stitch all the way around. I'm taping on my own today, so my buddy's not with me. Don't have my partner, but I hope you'll enjoy this video just as much. The edges fold and lend themselves so nicely you don't even need to pin, but let's go ahead and just top stitch real quickly all the way around. Rather than back tack on this, let's just stitch back over our beginning stitches and then go ahead and shut that off and cut. We're ready now to make our corners that will really quickly form our box. So we're just going to measure in, fold it in a triangle like this, and measure in from your corner 3 inches. I'm just going to use my markings here on my machine, and what you want to do with this is either take a hand needle and tack this, or really quick just tack it on the machine. And I'm just going to do it on the machine. The next one, fold the corners in to form a triangle, find your 3 inches from your point, and go ahead and do a little tack down. Third corner, make a nice point, come in and find your 3 inch, and another tack down. Simple so far. We're doing this today with a 10-inch square, but please remember, all you crafters out there, you can increase or decrease the size of this, and you're just going to get a slightly different basket. And I like doing really big ones and really small ones. Love this new little fabric basket. You've been with me before where we end up with something kind of like this. But this time what we're going to do is, of course, you would want to clip all these off. We're going to turn this. Oops, that one came out. Let me tack that one down just a little bit more. Oh, I missed that whole bottom part. Sometimes I try to move a little too quickly. Okay, so here we are. We're going to turn this away. So if you have two contrasting fabrics, one's going to become your lining and one's going to become your outer portion. But what we're going to do is, if you can see, I'm just going to nicely fold this fabric down and try to get a nice amount of symmetry from top to bottom and left to right, and make sure you've got equal amounts of fabric on the sides. And this little guy just comes out here like this, and you tack it closed right here. You can do it with the machine, or you can simply do it by hand. And so you're going to do all 4 sides like that, and when you do, you end up with something like this. And you can see, as we did on this one, we just added a little bit, we just added some bows on it, and it just added a nice little decoration and made that look like a strawberry themed basket. Buttons are nice, and you'll see on one I'll show you later, I even put little pearl beads on there, and it makes for a great little basket fit off. Now on this one, this is a perfect little 10-inch square, and it's a great size for a candle. I can just squeeze a little candle in there. Didn't have a new one to put in, but if you were gifting a candle for somebody, you can see how this is really nice. You could embroider this, monogram it, embellish it any way you would like. This one is done simply by putting a ribbon all the way through the 4 slots and tying a bow, and I think it looks really cute, again, just from a 10-inch square. Then let's move on to our little tiny strawberry today. And this one, your pattern's also included. You'll start with one piece of red check that looks like this. You'll fold it right sides together and give me about a 1/4 inch stitch up the side. You can back tack top and bottom. Once you do, it's time to hand sew. You'll have something that looks like this, and you just want to take with needle and thread, and you want to hand stitch all the way around and draw these up. So we'll turn it right sides out. Once all your little hand stitching is done and you've gathered it up, you're going to just put a little bit of regular old polyfill stuffing in there. And you'll see how quickly this forms a nice berry. Because when your basting stitches in, it brings the berry up to a nice little point like this. And you'll just hand stitch that in place. Hand stitch your yo-yo in a traditional manner and then place that right on top and stitch it on. I want to show you, and that's it to finish this off, but I want to show you our Easter basket that we made with this same type of method, and we put a little handle on it, and it looks, it gives it a completely different look. So you can easily add a little pearl, a button, bows, anything is nice. You can put a handle on it, and you can see how easy and fun it would be to fill these. One way to beef them up just a little bit, if you wanted it to last a little bit longer, maybe you want to give this with, we have a matching panel for this particular fabric at the store, and so of the mermaid, in fact. And so if you wanted to put just a piece of covered cardboard in the bottom, then you'll see that it adds a lot of stability to this basket. I put cardboard actually up in the handle as well, and it just makes it stand up really nicely. So again, this is just from two 10-inch squares and a 10-inch square of fusible fleece, and we have some very sweet treats. So make sure that you come by Carolina Sewing Back and pick up the Berry Sweet Extra Treat pattern, or you can visit the website and print it off from there. Thank you as always for joining us. We hope you enjoyed these great projects and that you'll subscribe. Visit us at carolinasewingback.com.